It's been a bucket full of wind tonight. Speaking of a bucket full of wind, that was a weird one, but let's go with it. I think it's going to be magical. Ladies and gentlemen, the next comedian up to the microphone, Mr. Sam Killermann. Woo! Give it up for Sam, everybody.
You think the guy who came up with that whole picture the audience naked thing was nervous? Or just a total creep bag? He was like, even if you're not performing. I promise I won't picture you naked. Most of you. Okay, good, okay. Now that we got that out of the way, we can just get the cat out of the air. That's an expression, right? I am getting pretty upset with vegetarians. Anyone in here?
Yeah, fuck them.
Dustin, you're not a vegetarian. I agree, though. I completely agree. They're confusing. There's all these, like, sub-vegetarianisms that are confusing and it upsets me. Like, there's vegetarians who just eat vegetables, and that makes sense. I get that. I eat vegetables almost daily. I understand. But there are all these, like, little bits of vegetarians, like ovo-vegetarians, for example, who eat vegetables, just vegetables, but then they eat eggs, too. Because that's like vegetables, but in egg form. And then they justify it like, no, it comes from the chicken. It's not a chicken. I'm like, it's a baby chicken that you're eating. That's worse. If anything, you should be anti-ovo-vegetarian. That's like eating children. And then there are, flexitarians. I just heard about that one recently, who are apparently vegetarians some of the time. That doesn't count. You can't just be a vegetarian some of the time. I kissed a dude once, but that doesn't make me gay. Does it? Did someone say yeah? No, it doesn't. I don't think. I'm going to have to ask my minister. But, so there are pescatarians. Has anyone heard of the pescatarian?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, a few people. I hadn't. It confused me. Pescatarians just eat...
Fish.
Oh, fish. That makes so much more sense. I was like, how do you survive on nothing but rodents? Like, I get the vegetarian part, vegetables are delicious, but rodents, how do you cook them? Like, how do you eat the pesks? That's disgusting. They're raw foodists. Has anyone heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't cook food, and that just sounds like an excuse to be lazy, if you ask me. If not cooking ramen and eating it straight out of the bag counts me as a raw foodist, then count me in. I'll sprinkle the flavored salt on my tongue. I'm down for that. I could be the poster child for raw foodism. And there are vegans. I mean, we've always had vegans, right? Vegans, they're just hungry. There's no other way to spin that. So I've decided, this frustrates me, this whole vegetarian thing, and it confuses me, so I've decided to take a stand, and I'm going to become a vegetarianian, and I'm just going to eat vegetarians. Thank you. Who's with me? A few people? All right. But no eggs, because that's disgusting. I was in Austin, Texas for New Year's, and it was a great place to go for New Year's. I'd never been to Austin, Texas. It was a fun time. Pretty crazy, though. New Year's got kind of wild there. There was this really busy street, it's called 6th Street, and this dude got a DUI driving down 6th Street on New Year's Eve. Which I realize doesn't sound that crazy, because I forgot a big part. This dude got a DUI driving down 6th Street, riding a mule. Isn't that hilarious? How is that not funny? That's a true story. Can you imagine being the cop that pulled that dude over? How do you know the guy was drunk? Was the mule swerving between lanes? He was like, you know, did the mule forget to point its tail left when he took the left turn? You think the mule was drunk? I think it probably was. You know how he knew the guy was drunk? Because the guy riding the mule down 6th Street was driving a mule down 6th Street. Like, that's how he knew he was drunk. There's no investigation necessary after that. It's like, DUI, like, end of story, no question. So I thought that was pretty wild until I experienced Bowling Green, Ohio for St. Patrick's Day. Woo! You guys have been there? Here? Last week? Pretty crazy, right? Last year, I'm a master's student at VG, so last year's my first year, and the first Bowling Green St. Patrick's Day, I saw a dude fall off a roof. True story, while I was walking to work at 8 in the morning. I wanted to help, but I couldn't because it was too funny. I was like, that's either a really good or a really bad way to start the day. You know, there's no in between. And this year was no different. I looked at the police blotter, which is really entertaining after St. Patrick's Day, and I actually printed out a little segment of it, and I just want to read it to you. This isn't so much comedy as it is spoken word, but I want to share with you just the craziness that happens here in Bowling Green, and it starts at 10:18, March 17th, Thursday, St. Patrick's Day. 10:18 a.m., sale of alcohol to a person under 21 years of age within the 100 block of North Main Street. I think that's like this block. 10:29 a.m., furnishing alcohol to a person under 21 years of age within the 100 block of North Main Street. 10:35 a.m. This is all within 15 minutes. Sale of alcohol to a person under 21 years of age within the 100 block of North Main Street. The trend goes on, believe me. 10:35 a.m. 10:35 a.m. Underage under the influence within the 100 block of North Main Street. I think those incidents might be related. So then I'm skipping ahead to 11 a.m. because, all that shenanigans that happens in the morning. Sale of alcohol to a person under 21 years of age within the 100 block of East Wooster Street. So now we're skipping to the other side of town. 11:22 a.m., 4 minutes later, furnishing alcohol to a person under 21 years of age within the 300 block of East Wooster Street. I'm going to stop because it goes on like that for a while. Then there are a lot of possession charges and disorderly conducts. And then it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm skipping a lot of action. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to wrap up with this, because there's really nothing you can say after this. 4:49 p.m., police respond to a call from the emergency room at Wood County Hospital to remove a disruptive leprechaun. Thank you very much. That's what I found out.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sam Killermann.